Welcome to the Times of Industry show. I have a very interesting guest with us today, and I want to talk about his service because his service involves a marriage of the blockchain technology with precious metals ownership. We're going to hear about how this entire thing works. Thomas Coughlin sits on the advisory board of KINESIS. Thomas, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, Lior. Actually, I'm the CEO of KINESIS.
Perfect. Even better. So we're talking to the source. So tell us about KINESIS. What's the idea behind it in terms of providing value to the customers and the users?
Yeah, certainly. No, thank you, and thank you to your audience as well for your time today. So what we're doing at KINESIS is developing a full end-to-end monetary system. So it's a monetary system whereby we've focused in on what makes money successful and sustainable. And there's two primary things that make money successful and sustainable. One, it needs to be an effective store of value, and two, an efficient medium of exchange. So the greatest store of value that the world's ever seen is actually gold. It's lasted millennia, basically valued independently across the world for thousands of years. And it's the longest lasting currency that the world's ever seen. And ultimately, we're marrying it, yes, with the most efficient medium of exchange, which is these days blockchain technology, connecting parties all over the world in a trustless, decentralized environment. So basically bringing those two worlds together. So we've got the greatest store of value that the world's ever seen and the most efficient medium of exchange that the world's ever seen. But then we've added this third dimensional element, which is this incentivizing yield system, which incentivizes everyone financially to get involved. There's already a lot of people who are very ideologically incentivized to be part of our system. But what we really want is for people to be choosing our currency over any other currency, whether it be legal tender, like US dollars or euros, or whether it be another cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And to do that, we've really incentivized the actual utilization or use of our currency. So, we've got this very, very special sort of incentivizing reward system whereby people actually receive a yield based upon, their use of the currency and their participation in our system. And ultimately, we've built out this entire system which integrates into the incumbent banking system with mobile banking applications so people can do their everyday banking requirements. We've built out exchanges whereby there's the seamless conversion between whether it be a fiat currency or another cryptocurrency into our system. And we've also built out what we call the KINESIS Commercial Center, whereby we have merchants like goods and services providers actually piped in and connected in. And we're about to release a whole heap of deals in that space with some fantastic and very large partners in that space as well, in various different industries all around the world. So that's sort of like the real sort of high level overview of what we're doing there.
Now, this is of course a privately held enterprise. So, is the token, the KBT, is it regulated at this point? How does it work?
So we have two offers. The first offer which we have open right now, we've just gone into public sale actually. We've sold over $50 million worth of these tokens. I think we're up to about $57 million worth of tokens that have been sold. That is a token which shares in ultimately like the success of the overall system. Basically, it's a share of the 20% top line revenue of the fees of the system. And it pays out in a monthly yield. That is it's a token. It's a utility token in most locations around the world, apart from in the United States, where it actually is considered to be a security token. So in the United States, it's only available to accredited investors. And because of that, we've partnered with a number of parties who are SEC regulated, etc., in the United States. So it's not, I wouldn't say, the parties who promote say, that token in the United States. They have to be regulated by the SEC. But in other places in the world, that's not regulated. As far as our currencies, which is the second offer, which we will cycle into in November, whereby parties are, users and investors are able to invest and basically subscribe to use our gold and silver backed currencies. That's effectively gold and silver, like on the blockchain, but just with a yield associated with it as well, which is attached. It's a non-debt based yield attached to the transaction fees of the system. So no, it's not a financial product, and it's not regulated as a financial product.
Got it. So okay. So who owns Kinesis? Who owns the company itself?
Currently, the company is about to, at the moment, it's actually just me who owns Kinesis, but that's actually just, that's by design at this very point in time, just until we get a few more things together. We're about to allocate the shareholding to, the broader group, which is largely the founders. So we have no big, billionaire, big powers behind us or anything like that. We're simply, basically a startup, but we've been founded by the team at Allocated Bullion Exchange, which is ABX. We're not owned by ABX, but the team behind ABX, you can check us out, abx.com, which was founded in 2011. That team has built Kinesis and developing Kinesis still. So that's where we come from, and that's basically, that answers your question.
So what are the risks to the users who actually will own tokens? What's the worst case scenario? And then on the flip side, what is the upside? Why would people want to use the Kinesis monetary system?
Okay, so ultimately, I mean, this is where we've really focused in on. So if we take our currencies, we've really focused in on basically risk to reward investment metrics. So basically, with the gold and silver backed currencies, the market risk there is actually the price of gold and silver, and they're obviously very stable commodities, very stable monetary metals, and so you're subject to the market risk. As far as the quality assurance and security around it all, this is something that we really leverage and inherit the unblemished track record of ABX and its quality assurance framework, and all the basically the security mechanics and everything like that that has gone into it. And ABX was founded in 2011, and it's got an unblemished track record, and it faces and pipes into some of the largest entities in the precious metal space, actually. We've got deals with the likes of Deutsche Börse, government-owned postal systems, government-owned entities, other exchanges around the world. So this is a well-established entity, and basically we utilize the ABX's physical handling system and also the exchange system for the holdings of the precious metals, and they're utilized by third-party vaults all around the world, which they're like the largest vaults largely, and insurance, everything like that. Basically, it's very secure, it's transparent, it's on the blockchain, which is transparent, so the risks, I would say, are very minimal. That's for sure. You're basically, the pricing mechanism is a large, established, and liquid market. So we're not setting up like a new product with a new market, which is what most cryptocurrencies do. We're leveraging an already very large liquid market with lots of volumes going through. So we're not going to have that same kind of volatility of just starting a market. So that's on the risk side. But on the reward side, this is where the real sexy factor of Kinesis comes into play. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of cryptocurrency enthusiasts might not be so excited by like a gold or silver-backed cryptocurrency. It's not so super exciting. But what makes us exciting is the yield. So, and this is the return side of the risk to return investment metrics. On the return side, the yield comes from basically money velocity. So the rate at which money changes hands. And this is basically the yield comes from a sharing of the transaction fees. And we've got, we basically, every month we calculate, pull together and disseminate our transaction fees for that month to different market participants. And we've got like different kinds of market participants. One's like a minter, people who actually create the currency. Once they send, spend, or sell it, then they actually receive a yield. We've got a holder yield, someone who just holds the currency, just like a bank deposit. They actually receive a yield. And this makes us actually comparable with any kind of passive investment asset class, whether it be, bank deposits, bonds, dividend yielding stocks, or rental property investments. We become comparable. So we've got identifiable and definable risk because we're tapping into a large established market, and we have identifiable and definable return. Because ultimately that we can take a track record of our trading volumes, and we can anticipate that forward as well to anticipate return, and then we become comparable with any conventional passive returning investment asset class. So we're not just really tapping into, say, the gold market, where we provide gold with a yield with massive value. We don't even charge storage fees. We're a stable coin in the cryptocurrency markets, but in conventional asset classes, we're actually a new passive yielding asset class. So this is something that is very different to anything else that's appeared in the cryptocurrency space, and it's something rather exciting, really, for the average person.
Now, okay, so basically the yield comes from Kinesis' ability to make a profit. Now, you store for free, you deliver for free, it's 100% convertible, you get a debit card that you can purchase with. So the model is to make processing fees and then to share the processing fees with the users, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, perfect. So could you talk about the pre-sale? Is it over yet, or are there any delays? When are you going live?
No, so with the KVT, we're not in pre-sale anymore. We're in public sale, and that will close on the 11th of November. So I think there's 40 days left. We're still a bit more time to invest in that and to support the system and come along for the journey with us. And it's investors in the KVT offer, which, I mean, they are exposed to the greatest returns of the system because they will share no matter what and forever, doesn't matter how big we get, they will share in 20% of basically the top line revenue, so the transaction fees out of the system, and forever. And it's a yield, so it's like, basically a monthly yield paid, and they're subject to capital appreciation on that as well. Now, for the currency investors, as I said, they're subject to the gold or silver price, depending on what coin they purchase, and then they're also subject to they receive the yield. And there's different yields. There's active yields and there's passive yields based upon their individual performance, and also the collective success of the system as well.
So this is very interesting. So why don't you talk a little bit about the KVT token itself? People will be able to trade the token amongst themselves, and would it be would you say it will be correlated or fixed to the price of bullion, or would you consider it to be more volatile? Talk to us a little bit about the leverage of KVT to the actual underlying metal.
So the KVT, as I mentioned, it's the investment vehicle to invest in basically the success of the system. So it's like an equity, but it's a token, and instead of it being subject to the net revenue or net profit performance of the system, it's just receiving top line revenue, so not subject to any expenses of the system, and 20% of the top line revenue. And that will become tradable. We've already done deals with a number of different exchanges, and we'll be rolling out more announcements with exchanges. But the whole thing there is, as I said, we come out of the exchange space. So we've actually, as part of our monetary system, we're developing our own exchange. And we've got a primary market, so a primary exchange where the currencies are actually created, and then we've got a blockchain exchange, and it'll be a hybrid exchange, and moving towards a fully decentralized exchange. But Yeah, on our own exchange, the KVTs will be tradable along with our gold and silver currencies, which are called KAU and KAG. They'll be tradable, and they'll be tradable up against different fiat currencies and also different other cryptocurrencies as well. So yeah, I mean, it'll be basically tradable in different exchanges and on our own exchange. Yeah, of course. And the KVT is obviously subject to the greatest opportunity for capital appreciation, but will also receive yield out of the system as well.
Thomas, this is a very interesting system, and I'd love for people to check out more of it. Could you tell people where the best information is and how accessible are you or any of the team members if they want to learn more about this?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, please visit us at our website. It's kinesis.money, so KINESIS.money. And we've got, we're building out quite a large community on Telegram and through the social media channels. Yeah, please feel free to contact us on any which channel, whether it be, email or whatever. Well, our support team will get back to you immediately. And yeah, no, very, very much so looking forward to, rolling out and for everyone to come along on the journey with us. We really want to go out to the masses and bring as many people in as possible because, we see ourselves rolling out something really quite revolutionary, I would say. And, we're doing our best to roll this out as effectively as possible. And, yeah, very happy for your listeners to come along for the journey with us.
Thomas, thank you very much for taking the time today.
Thank you very much, Lior. Thanks for your time.